Hello, David Barron here. In one of my last videos, I asked if you had any questions or any ideas of topics you'd like me to talk about. I would welcome them, and one of you did ask about the idea of creating a self-hypnosis regimen. And I've spoken about this in some of the other videos that we've talked about. And self-hypnosis is something in the model of hypnosis I use. It's only slightly possible because hypnosis is such the ideal of hypnosis. It is such an intense and a very profound state that it is almost impossible to be able to actually steer the bus, so to speak, and be the passenger at the same time. When I'm doing hypnosis with somebody, I want to make sure they are totally and completely following along, so much so that that's all they are aware of. And in that context, and again, this was the model of hypnosis that Jeffrey Stevens talks about in his training. In that context, it is really hard to achieve the state that I call hypnosis and be able to steer it. Nonetheless, there are things that you can do. One of the things that you can do is, first of all, practice the relaxation exercise. I remember when I first started reading about hypnosis, I was in my teens, and I would lay in my bed and go through the mental steps, telling myself, giving myself instructions, and following along and making it happen. So I got the eye catalepsy. I got really relaxed. I went deeper and deeper, and then almost consistently I would just go away. I just wouldn't be there anymore, and I would find myself waking up wondering how long it's been. Did I go to sleep? What has happened? That's how deep real hypnosis is. So it's hard to steer the bus, so to speak. So a couple things you can do. First of all, have an outcome, have a goal. Find out, ask yourself what it is you want to accomplish. And set a bunch of steps. First off, work at being good at the hypnotic phenomena. So, for example, start by just sitting in your chair and trying to create eye catalepsy. Closing your eyes and making it so that they don't open even though you know you're trying, until you actually give it the command to open. Do the same thing with arm catalepsy. You extend your arm like this. Okay? Make it so stiff it won't move even though you know you're trying. Okay, that's a good idea. You can actually go ahead and try, and I've done it, but I can't tell you that it's an easy thing for most people to do, but I've been able to momentarily forget my name and do it very intentionally, and it's really confusing and weird. But go through the various hypnotic phenomena step by step by step and get good at each one of those. It does not necessarily require a long hypnotic induction. Once you are able to go into that hypnotic state and make those hypnotic phenomena occur, you're well on your way. Now, I said have an outcome. If you're going to do hypnosis, you're doing it for a reason, I hope. Maybe you want to be more confident. Maybe you want to talk to girls. Maybe you want to have a skill set of playing a musical instrument or a sport of some sort, and you want to practice that mentally. So have an outcome. That's the most important thing. Hypnosis is incredibly outcome-oriented. And what you can do is go through the various steps of hypnotic phenomena, and then give yourself the commands, the instructions, the hypnotic suggestions that you're wanting to do. But most importantly, imagine yourself doing it. Be in the first person, seeing through your own eyes, hearing with your ears, feeling with your body, the experience of doing what it is you're trying to do, and doing it perfectly, and then repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. There was a story of a concert pianist who was from China who was imprisoned for about 10 years during the Cultural Revolution. He had no access to a piano, but when he was done from his incarceration, when he was freed, he demonstrated himself to be technically more skilled than when he went in. And the reason why is that while he was alone, while he was isolated, while he was away even from a piano to practice on, all he did mentally was practice on it. So that's what you're trying to do with your version of self-hypnosis. Create your own regimen. The other thing that you can do, and I highly encourage it, is when you get good at becoming this self-hypnosis person, is create audio recordings. And those can tip you over the edge to take you to that place where you don't even know this person is talking to you, your own voice, of course, but you're following the instructions. My mentor, Jeff Stevens, he told me about one of the things he did is he wanted to get really good, and he created a whole series of relatively short hypnosis recordings. And he would do a whole bunch of different things on them. And one of the things he would do is he would make sure he'd go into that state of hypnosis and have the recording start. It was about 10 seconds where he could go into hypnosis, and he'd get the instructions from the tape that he had recorded. It's playing back to him. The recording would have him wake up, and he would have no memory of what was going on, and then he would delete the recording without listening to it. So he would pick these recordings, not even knowing what's happening. He know that he's done a whole bunch of them and got really, really interesting results. He knows one of them was an instruction to wake up and for 15 minutes not know who he is or what he's doing or where he's at, have complete, total amnesia about himself and his environment. And he woke up and he said it was really confusing, and it took a while, and it eventually did wear off. And that's the one thing that he knows that he practiced, that he recorded and did to himself. So that's one thing you can do. Another good hypnosis regimen, I actually developed a course. It's called the Super Somnambulist Hypnosis Training, and it's designed exactly for that purpose. It is 3 CDs. They are a progression of hypnosis processes that bring you through a whole bunch of different hypnotic phenomena, going all the way to complete amnesia of what's been going on. And that's an extreme, and it is done in a progression, so you go step by step by step. That will be a very good one for you. Ultimately, when you go through it, the goal is, at the end, you start making your own recordings. And with those recordings, what you can do is have your own goals, your own outcomes. You start off by having a period of silence in which you go into hypnosis, and then it starts off going deeper and deeper and deeper, and then giving the hypnotic instructions. I hope that helps. So that's my idea. I'll provide a link to that product below. If you have any questions, please feel free, give me a call, post a comment below, and I'll be happy to follow up with a question with an answer to your questions. Thank you much. Take care.